Hi Jane, come on in. Take a seat. How are
Thank
you doing
you.
today?
Not too bad, thank you. Are you?
Yes, I'm well. Are your grandchildren back at school now?
Yes. Well, hopefully.
Yeah, it's been full on with the schools closing, hasn't it?
Yes, it has been. It's been a struggle.
I can imagine. Well, we'll get started then on your performance review. So we're doing this today because you've now been with NetPorter for 12 months.
Yeah.
We, of course, sat down together in June last year after your probation period at 3 months. And then I know you've had your ongoing sort of one-to-one monthly catch-ups with Andrew, team leader. But today's meeting's part of my role as the logistics manager to look at where you have had success this year, talk about where you and I see your progression with the business, and then to put in place an action plan for your development. So it's nothing to worry about, and hopefully should be helpful for us both to kind of find out a bit more. So did you manage to find time to do the self-appraisal?
Yes, I brought it along with me. Did you want to see it?
No, that's okay. We can just use it as a bit of a starting point for our discussions. So in general then, how do you feel your performance has been this year?
Well, I think it's been going okay. I've got to grips now with the scanners and the processes.
Yeah.
I think I've hit my KPIs. I put on my form that I've been making improvements in my accuracy and quality. I've not had as many shipments damaged or incorrect as I did when I first started.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'm feeling a bit better about that.
Brilliant. No, that's really good. So yeah, absolutely would agree with that. So I've brought along the data, the information for you to have a look at, and this is your copy to take away with you.
Thank you.
So we can see on here, you've got your actual results on these left-hand columns against your targets on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And firstly, I just want to say well done. You've achieved a lot so far. We're all pleased with your output, in particularly within that outbound area, which is obviously where the bulk of your role sits. And you're right in saying your accuracy, the quality of your work's improved. So it's consistently increased as you've been going along. So sort of within that first 6 months at the 99% mark, and then increasing kind of by a percentage point month on month. It's been good to see that. And then if we look at the order volumes on outbound, for the first 6 months, March to August of last year, we were looking at a target of 8 orders picked and shipped, and you were hitting that at 8. And then you really took off and kind of went great guns for the next sort of 4 months. In particular, I wanted to highlight you had hit 18 orders picked and shipped against a target of 14 in December. So that was really good to see. So are you pleased with your sort of KPI figures?
Yes, I think so. I think I've done what's been expected of me.
Yeah,
certainly.
You should be pleased. When we get to the last couple of months, January, February, you've hit 20 against your target of 18. And I think Andrew and I probably both thought you might be hitting 22, 23 if you'd carried on at the same rate as you were before Christmas. Do you think that's fair?
Yes, I suppose it is. I don't know. I don't think that's really fair because I did do 20, even though my target was 18.
Yeah, and that is a good thing, and I don't want to discourage you. These targets were set as the benchmark for where we expect our warehouse operatives to be within their first 12 months. When we look at the numbers across the team, there are other people in the team that are hitting 22, 23 that have got the same amount of experience and the same level of accuracy and quality as yourself. What do you sort of think to that?
Well, we had lots of temps start in December, and for the January sales, I've spent more time guiding them and showing them the ropes than I had been on my own pick list. I've really enjoyed doing that, but I think that could have had an impact on my KPIs.
Yeah.
These newest team members have lots of questions on where all the stock is kept, and I actually put together a bit of a diagram for them which showed the quickest routes to each section of the warehouse and tried to help them like that,
Yeah, and that's really good to hear, actually, Jane. I wasn't aware of that. And yeah, that definitely would have an impact on your own ability to hit your KPIs if you are helping other people out. And did your team leader, Andrew, ask you to take on that extra responsibility?
Well, no, I've done that off my own back, and it's made me think that I'm really ready to work as a team leader level. I wanted to talk to you about that today, if I could.
Okay. Well, it's great to know that you are looking to progress within the business, and I'm sure you'll be aware it's an exciting time for us as an organisation. We're expanding into other territories, and I'm really keen to keep pushing on and to move our figures in line with the best performing businesses within the logistics industry. So the industry's best in class numbers that the Institute of Logistics give us show that we should be aiming for our team to be hitting 23.5 orders picked and shipped an hour. And that's with an accuracy of 99.9%. So I really want us to strive to aim for that. And with that in mind, I think it perhaps would be good for you to focus your efforts on achieving those numbers. I would say I'd be looking to set your target at 23 outbound orders picked and shipped, and then an accuracy of 99.7 at this point, and to maintain that then for the next few months before we review it again. Would you say that was achievable? Would you need any other support?
It might be a challenge, but I do really want to get to the next level. So I definitely try my hardest.
Yeah, but I'd want you to get some more support in doing that as well. So something that I found did help my team at John Lewis to succeed was the mentoring program that I put in place. At the moment, your performance isn't where I'd want it to be for a prospective team leader. I'd want you to be hitting those numbers. So I would probably look to sit down with the other team leaders and come up with, identify the right person to kind of partner you with as a mentor, who could offer you support with how to hit those higher KPIs. Would that be something you'd be interested in?
Well, I think that would really help because I perhaps don't think I've had the support that I might have needed previously.
Okay, yeah. It could also have other knock-on effects as well. So mentors can help to show you other ways of collaborating in different ways with your team. So as well as your KPIs and the numerical sort of targets that we want you to be hitting, there are other things we would consider when evaluating your performance, such as behaviours and attitudes that we would expect. So how do you feel that you're working within the team at the moment?
Well, I think I get on all right with everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that I think there's some distance between you and other members of the team. So I know we had the grievance before and that's been dealt with and resolved as far as I'm aware. Everything's okay on that front. But I think sometimes you might come across as a bit abrupt and more forceful than is necessary with some team members. Do you agree with that?
Well, yes, I do sometimes feel ostracised from the group. And I think since the grievance situation that happened before, even though I thought we drew a line under it, I felt that I am kept on the outside of the group dynamics. That gets me down a bit and doesn't help me to feel motivated when I get to work.
Yeah.
And I might then be a bit standoffish, I suppose, with the wider team.
Mm-hmm.
They don't invite me to any other work events or want to spend time with me. It's a bit of a vicious circle and I'm not sure how to make it any better, really.
Okay. I wondered if some of your absence might have been connected to this. I noticed that you'd had quite a few absences, around 8 occasions, and that's more than I'd expect to see. So I did have a look, but I don't think we've done any return to work interviews. So I wanted to ask you now if there's anything kind of underlying that might have contributed, and I wonder if some of that might have played a part. Forgive me if I'm out of term for saying so.
Yeah, I'd say that this grievance put a strain on me and I needed some time off. Also, it's a physically demanding role, and an old shoulder problem can flare up every few weeks if I'm really busy.
Oh, okay. Do you feel like you're able to carry out normal work duties at the moment?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just occasionally it just gives me a bit of a problem, but overall,
Yeah.
I'm finding the work actually okay.
Okay. It sounds like you might benefit from a referral to the occupational health team, though. I'll arrange that as soon as we've finished up here, and they might just be able to kind of assess if you are if there are things that we can do to make that a bit better for you. I would like to make a suggestion about more of the social side of life at NetPorter, if that's okay.
Yes, that'd be great. Yeah.
Okay. I just had a suggestion, if you were to join the charity committee, perhaps, and get involved with a few more of the events that they put on. It might be a way to mix with some people that you've not met before within the organisation, and it might give you a bit of a chance to build up confidence and build some of those relationships that might not be there at the minute. It would mean a few hours a month of extra commitment outside of your normal hours, but I think it could really work wonders for how you feel at work and how you're sort of viewed among your peers as well. No pressure to sort of to do that, but what do you think?
Yes, I'd be willing to give it a go. What sort of things do you think that might entail, though?
Well, I know that they've done bake sales. They do obviously the Christmas party. There's sometimes a charity auction in the summer. The events vary in sort of size and how much you'd be doing, but it's a really good committee of people across the business, so head office, accounts, all sorts, as well as your warehouse teams. So I think it could be a good way to build up some of those relationships.
That sounds really good, and I'd be more than happy to give that a go.
Brilliant. Okay, that kind of brings everything that I wanted to address to a close. Have you got any questions for me?
Yes, would it be possible to have a description of the team leader's job, so that I think that might help me understand what's required and extra responsibilities?
Okay, yeah, I can certainly arrange that for you. That's a really good idea. Should give you a bit of an idea of the scope of the role, some of the extra sort of responsibilities from an administrative point of view as well that the team leaders do. I'll speak to the HR team and get one sent over to you this week. Is there anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think that's about it.
Brilliant. Okay. So in terms of like a summary and just kind of bringing things to a close, I'm really pleased with how the last 12 months have been going, and I can definitely see potential in you to progress with the business as we grow. In terms of an action plan, I will get that to you this week, but Lucy, it will consist of the following. So the targets that we've talked about today, so inbound orders we didn't touch on, but I was thinking 8 per hour on that front.
Okay.
As a target, and then outbound order target of 23. And that would be to increase your accuracy to 99.7%. I'll also make sure we sort out the referral to occupational health and ensure that we're doing ongoing return to work interviews as well. Should you have any future absence, it's our duty of care to make sure that you're okay to be at work. I'll identify the mentor to partner you with.
Thank you.
And that will sort of start that process in the next couple of weeks. And then I think it would be good for us to sit down again before the next sort of formal arranged meeting, just to catch up and discuss how you're getting on. If you're hitting those targets, and I can see that proactive improvement in kind of your collaboration and teamwork, I think at that stage we'd review the possibility of an acting team leader position. That's dependent on those figures being hit. How does that all sound to you?
Yes, that sounds really good.
Great. Has today's meeting been helpful?
Yes, it has been helpful, and it's given me an opportunity as well to tell you how I feel and what's been going on. So, brilliant. Yes, it has. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Yeah, really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing your progress. Cheers, Jane. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye.